Hello YouTube. Earlier well, maybe an hour or two ago, I did a short video on well, I was trying to speak about the homelessness problem in California. I was watching videos on LA, the urban decay and homeless issue in LA. Very, very sad. And just out of control. Plain out of control. And I wanted to do further research on the state of California. Well, particularly San Francisco. I'm going to do Oakland after that. Maybe, I don't know about Berkeley. The cities that I know in California I'm more familiar with in LA. I've only been there once, a long time ago. Speaking of that, the fact that I was there in 1991, my mom said that, I mean, I don't really remember this part of my trip to Venice Beach, but my mom says there was a lot of homeless back then. This was 29 years ago. So apparently this is not really new. And it's gotten worse due to the pandemic and really out of control, especially in LA, San Francisco. I haven't heard much on the news about San Diego. I'll have to research that too. This is getting interesting, real interesting. So San Francisco, I've been to the Tenderloin in San Francisco. Our hotel, we went when my niece was, right after my niece was born, to San Francisco. And then my brother and sister-in-law were living in a condo in the city and didn't have the extra room for us to stay. But anyway, this hotel is right around the corner from Tenderloin. And I got a chance, which creeped me out beyond belief, to walk, not very far, but there was an art supply store, a Blick art supply store, around the corner from our hotel. I mean, this is like night and day, these neighborhoods. And I mean, it's like that in Chicago, too, the neighborhood you cross the street and you're just like in a war zone. But in San Francisco, it was like the hotel was, I felt safe walking around outside around the motel, or hotel. But once I went around the corner, night and day. And the tender, people. My parents are kind of selective. I mean, my mom's not really into giving for homeless people as much. But my dad is. He's a little more on the compassionate side, I guess. I only give if I believe that the person's really in need. I don't get much because I'm definitely far from that. But anyway, I give like $1. I mean, these are people who are out crying on the streets in Santa Fe as well. But anyway, back to this. I always do that. I always get out like on a tangent. I don't know. But anyway, the problem was in Tenderloin that I saw. I mean, they're all over San Francisco. And I heard from a friend in Chicago that it actually was illegal to be homeless in San Francisco. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know where she got that information. This was several years ago, saying it was illegal to be homeless in San Francisco. So I don't know. There seemed to be an awful lot of people just still out there. We were waiting for the cable cars right near Tenderloin, and my dad was just feeling really sad for this woman. She was a really sweet black lady. And okay, sorry YouTube, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. I make so many videos. Some of them I don't post just because of the poor quality and stuff. And so anyway, back to the problem in San Francisco. See, I was in LA like almost 30 years ago when I was just like 20. So, I was paying attention. I was on my a special vacation with my mom, and when you're on a vacation, I was in such awe of LA. I had always wanted to go to California. That was my first real experience there. And you don't wanna. You just kind of turn a blind eye to it when you're that young. And in those times, it wasn't. I mean, it definitely wasn't as bad as it is now. Because all I can remember about Venice Beach was, the vibe and the artsy stuff and the color and the like vibrant color and just I wanted to experience that, and I didn't pay attention. But if I were to go to one of these places, I would love to film in San Francisco. I really would. I'd be a little nervous about LA, but San Francisco, I know kind of like the back of my hand. Okay, and having never actually physically lived in California, I do know San Francisco like the back of my hand. Also, Oakland, but I've been to San Francisco more. Okay, but about Venice Beach. What was I talking about? Venice Beach. Yeah, I really would want to film in San Francisco now, and that would be just a dream to film in San Francisco and the issues there. My brother told me I know about urban decay too, and it's just, ugh. I'm not like being a snob about it. I'm in no way better off. I'm better off, but I'm no way better than these people, at least most of them, or some of them. I'm in no way, shape, or form better than them. Okay, I'm a person, they're people, they have their issues, I have mine. Okay, I've never suffered from hardcore drug addiction or anything, but I do have I'm a recovering alcoholic. So, I'm a recovering alcoholic I quit drinking January 3rd of 2020. But anyway, so I can relate with that. I'm fortunate enough, I've always had a roof over my head. Not necessarily a place I really wanted to be. It wasn't like an apartment or my parents' home or anything like that. But I did have a roof over my head, and I was very fortunate for that. I had, living in motels, cheap motels, sleazy motels, kind of walking the streets, trying to get by, trying to find a cheap phone or something that I could use. Back then they had some pay phones, but I had to eat at fast food restaurants with what little money I had. Sometimes I bought snacks to stay, to have in my motel room, which I stayed in only for a week, but then I ended up going into a YMCA up in the north suburbs of Chicago. It wasn't a bad area, but I was very vulnerable, and it scared me. It was really a scary, dark time in my life when I faced possibility of homelessness. And I didn't grow up in a dysfunctional family, no drugs, no physical abuse. It was just some circumstances. And I had a roof over my head. It was not in the winter, so I was fortunate for that. I didn't have to worry about having to walk around the streets in the winter. So in San Francisco, I feel for them because that problem is so widespread in that city. And I just remember the two times. The one time my dad encountered the homeless woman near Tenderloin, and the time my brother, I don't know what part of San Francisco it was. I don't remember the tents there as much. It was pretty thriving at that time. It was doing well. The tour there was tourists in droves, riding cable cars and Fisherman's Wharf, and I've always been a fan of Fisherman's Wharf. Great place. So I saw some really good things. I saw good sides of San Francisco. But I would like to film tents, like the tent life on the streets. I am watching some videos now about, I believe, I'm not sure if it's LA or San Francisco. I think it's San Francisco where they actually, or no, that might be in LA, I'm sorry, because it's like warmer there. But, because these people have showers in their tents. These people have a doorbell even. They have, under like tunnels and bridges, they have like a slide. I don't know what that's for exactly, but I can find out. A doorbell, showers, I don't know, maybe even electricity, I don't know, but I'm just learning these things, and it's so interesting to me to see this. That's in LA. That's the video I saw on the LA homeless problem. And there are people who feel so sad about this whole thing, that are out there filming, out there documenting real life. That's what I want to see, is real life. I've experienced real life. But a lot of people I know in Chicago have not. They've been pretty... I'm privileged too. I mean, I'm very privileged because I never experienced true homelessness or anything like that. But I never had to beg. I never had to, you know... I mean, and at one time I paid like 3/4 of my own rent because I desperately wanted to get out of the ghetto. I desperately wanted a job. So my dad gave me a job answering phones at his office. This was back in the early 2000s. I wanted to work. I wanted to pay most of my own rent. I wanted to pay some of my bills because I wasn't making enough money to support myself. But that's what I wanted. That's what I've always dreamed of, is just having some independence, which leads to freedom. You know, these people in San Francisco and LA do not have freedom. I mean, I guess they can. I mean, I want to know about this. Now, this was several years ago, way before the pandemic. But the thing about about homelessness being illegal in San Francisco, and I'd be interested to research that more. And I really, really, honestly, if Kev TV, if you're watching, I want to film the tent cities in LA too. I guess I could do it in LA, you know. San Francisco, I just know very well. So, but I wanna film Tent City, you know. That's just what I want to do. I never realized how much the homeless crisis in San Francisco, or in California, was out of control it was, until I started watching these videos and learning from my brother. And if there was something I could do to help, I would. I'm in no position really to give more than $1 to a crying, hungry teenage man on the street. That's all I can do, is give $1, because I have to eat. I have a cat to feed. Okay, I'm back one more time. This time, instead of 1 or 2 videos deleting from my storage, I got rid of 5. So this should last a little while. And they say at my my storage is at like 98% full. So, and this is only a 2-month-old phone, folks. Only a 2-month-old S8 that I have. So anyway, so you know, I was saying about I had to feed my cat. I have to feed myself. I have a nicotine habit. I vape now. I have not bought a pack of cigarettes this week. I've been very good about that. I had one to finish up. I didn't want to waste my money, and I had it left over from last week, so I just finished it up yesterday. I said I'm done for a while. I hope I don't go back to it. I really don't want to. I don't want to have that icky feeling in my throat, or, I mean, this is off the topic of homelessness, but, and I won't even go into the problem in Chicago, because that's been like that for so long, but, so, I'm going to watch some more videos. I mean, just the thing about being illegal, or homelessness being illegal in San Francisco, which is, maybe 5 years ago I was told that in Chicago, and then wanting to film tent cities. It's everywhere. I've heard about it in Honolulu, Hawaii, so I didn't see it. I really haven't seen tent cities that you know, people sleep under bridges in Chicago in the winter. I mean, tunnels, bridges, Lower Wacker Drive. Now that would be, I mean, those people are going to freeze to death. People have frozen to death here in Santa Fe. Well, at least one person I know, my mom heard and told me about, a man froze to death outside of Starbucks here in Santa Fe. I wish I could help. I wish there was something I could do to feed them or clothe them. I've donated clothes. That's for needy children. I did that in Chicago. I donated. They have those donation boxes, which they're not accepting donations here right now. I've donated in Chicago on the street to needy children and families, clothes, or shoes. Just the fact that these people have like electricity, a doorbell, showers, slide under a tunnel in LA. I mean, I want to know more. I want to get to the real story. You know, if someone wants to frickin' snatch my camera and throw it, I mean, I don't know. That could happen anywhere. I've had stranger things. Not stranger. Worse things happen. As far as I've gotten robbed before, so not here though. Not here. So anyway, so homeless. I just want to do a study on California. I mean, the Exodus is really a great interest to me. And homelessness is what's contributing to it. They're talking about people have like committed themselves and sorry. To picking up human feces off the ground. Now that's something I could not do. I can pick up garbage in my neighborhood. I cannot pick up human feces. That is like out of the question. So, all right. I will see you all later. I will continue this discussion of mine. This is part 2 of my earlier. Well, I was just getting into it a little bit. I was wanting to talk about it in California, but then I watched some video. I was talking about it in Santa Fe, the problem here, and then I got off. You know, I always get off on something else. But then in between that time and now, I watched a few videos on California. So I will see you all later. Take care. Peace out. If you have the time, research California. Research the reasons people are leaving California. The real reasons behind people leaving California, besides the extremely unaffordable cost of living. I will see you all later. Peace.